What's up, everybody? We are back with another video, and right now we're going to do some research and we're going to get better at some games, and I'm going to edit my video. So let's study all the time. So right now, first thing we're going to do is some research. So let's do some more. It's like that other video I did with the economic vocabulary, but let's do some more vocabulary. So let's go into trading terms. Trading terms. Matter of fact, another good way I would say is to go to any social media website. Let's say Twitter. Let's go to Twitter. I don't even know if I have a Twitter account. Let's see, do I? Apparently I do. And then we'll go to Explorers or search bar. Yeah. Let's go to trading. Market observations, techniques, investing. Shell official Twitter account. Elon Musk changed the Twitter like button from red heart to blue heart. Wait, so Elon Musk controls Twitter? Let's see what it looks like. Oh no. Alright. I've seen this face before. Market observations from the trenches. Starts with inflation. How inflation, interest rates, markets, and economic growth relate to each other, and what that means for what's ahead. It starts with inflation. Inflation is how inflation, interest rates, markets, and economic growth rates to each other. What does it mean for? Let's see, because we actually are in inflation right now. Swipe us. Um, in this post, I will very briefly explain. I believe the economic machine that determines inflation, interest rates, market prices, and economic growth rates work, and B, work with you to apply current circumstances to the machine to come up with our expectations for the future. How it works. So it starts with inflation, what works? So what are they? What is he selling here? To me, it starts with inflation. How inflation for what's ahead. In this position, in this post A, I will explain how I believe economic machine that determines, and I believe the economic, how you believe works, and B, work with you to apply certain circumstances to that machine to come up with. Okay, so it's a machine. That's the key word of this machine. So it's a machine that he's talking about. That's what works. Over a long term, living standards rise because people investing in ways to get more value out of a day's work. Well, we call this productivity. The ups and downs and uptrend are mostly due to money and credit. Credit cycles that drive interest rates or other markets, economic growth, and inflation. All things being equal, when money and credit growth are strong, demand and economic growth are strong, unemployment, deadlines, and all that produces higher inflation. When the opposite is true, the opposite happens. Most everyone agrees. Most importantly, the central bankers should determine the amount of money credit available in reserve currency countries that having the highest rate of economic growth and the lowest unemployment rates possible is good as long as it doesn't produce any undesirable inflation. What rate of inflation is undesirable? It is a rate that creates the undesirable effects on productivity. Most people agree, and central banks agree, that it is about 2% for reasons that I won't now digress into. Okay, so that was a lot. I might need to start over a little bit later, but I'm only gonna read it one time on stream. So most everyone and most central banks want strong growth and low unemployment on the one hand, and the desired inflation rate on the other. Since growing, since strong growth and low unemployment raise inflation, the central banks deal with the inflation growth trade-off, which leads them to pick the greater problem and change monetary policy to minimize the expense of the other. In other words, when inflation is high above 2%, they tighten monetary policy and weaken the economy to bring it down. The higher the rate is above the target, the more they tighten. With inflation well above what people and central banks want, i.e., today's CPI report showed a monthly change in the core CPI of 0.6%, which equates to a, I don't know, rate of 7.4%, and the unemployment rate low, 3.7%. It's obvious that inflation targeted is the targeted problem, so it's obvious that central banks should tighten monetary policy. Everything will flow from that. Alright, so I'm gonna actually go up. Give me a second, because I actually lost track. Alright, tell me what the inflation rate will be down the road without the central bank pushing interest rates and money and credit growth rates around, and I can pretty much tell you what will happen. So the progress starts with inflation, then it goes to interest rates, and then to other markets, and then to the economy. It starts with inflation. He's been reinstating that a lot. Since the price of anything is equal to the amount of money and credit spent on it the quantity divided by the quantity of it sold, the change in price, i.e. inflation, is equal to the change in the amount of money credit is spent. Goods, services divided by the change in quantities of goods and services sold. This is primarily determined by the amount of money and credit and the level of interest rates that the central bank makes available through it. Will also be influenced by the supplies of goods, services available, i.e. supply distribution disruptions. Disruptions, I think, pretty sure. Then it goes to interest rates. Interest rates. Central banks determine the amount of money and credit that is available to be spent. They do not do they do that by setting interest rates and buying, selling debt assets with money print, i.e. qualitative easing and quantitative tightening. Okay, interest rates have, and those are good. called, words to look up, because I actually, like, I've heard of quantitative, qualitative, both of them actually, even though neither one of them said that. One of them said that. Anyways, quantitative tightening is also a contractionary monetary policy tool applied by central banks to decrease the amount of liquidity or money supply in the economy. A central bank implements a by reducing the financial assets it holds on its balance sheet by selling them to financial markets, which decreases assets prices and raises interest rates. So that's kind of crazy. Interest rates relative to inflation rates, i.e., real interest rates, have a big effect. How far are we into this? Alright, we're not gonna go in that much more right now, because that's a lot. But let's go somewhere else. Let's do some more research about random shit. I think they removed my account from Instagram. Four one one 845. Reviewing usually takes us around a day. What's this? Like trade comment. Oh yeah. This is the dud. This is that dud Instagram I got. You guys wanna come follow me? That's who I'm at. 457. How many? I wonder how many YouTube subs I got now. Let's see. Cause I went up about like literally 300 since I started making my vlogs. I haven't posted another one. Hold up. I think I eyelash them on. Ooh, 5 went down. That's crazy. But let's go to investing. Alright, let's see. Investing mentors. 32 pieces of advice more valuable than mine. Alright. You'll get paid for your value, not your time. Self-education can make you a fortune. People are true ROI in business. How you do one thing is how you do everything. 2 years of hard work can set you up for life. 3 hours of deep of deep work or better than 8 hours of unfocused work. Every minute of pain at the gym will do you wonders to your mental health. 8 hours of sleep, it should be mandatory. Chase your passion, not money. Take time for yourself. Pay pay money to get ahead. Get a mentor, it pays off tenfold. Your network is your net worth. You're the average off the 5 people you hang out with. Okay, so we're quoting a lot, few of them for Andrew Tate, and a lot of them that make sense. I just want to point this out before I leave this post, is that take time for yourself and chase your passion, not money. I wouldn't, take a little bit, maybe like time for yourself, but chase money over passion. Probably get money faster. Let's say you're chasing a girl, right? That's and you're super passionate about her, right? What's gonna catch her quicker? Money or you? Money will, so make money. That's how I see it. I think this is my cousin. Oh yeah, no, I thought that was Nate. Hello. Alright. But anyways, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go to the the game in a second. The moving average. Oh, and I want to also show you guys. I have a Robinhood portfolio. I'm not gonna pull it up, now, but I have a Robinhood portfolio. But I'm gonna start like investing in that like weekly, whenever I get paid. Becoming a forex trader means living and breathing the excitement, risk, and reward of trading in the biggest, most liquid market in the world. Do you have what it takes? Takes to build consistency. Yellow, yellow, yellow. It's like the mic is working. Working. Alright, so what does a forex trader do? Let's see. I accept. Oh, I wanted to like make this bigger, but wait, what website is this? A forex trader takes long or short positions on currency pairs with the goal of making a profit. Long or short positions. Alright, well, I actually don't know what that means, so let's go ahead and click on this link. Long or just short positions in forex trading. Understanding the basics of going long or short in forex is fundamental for all beginner traders. Taking a long or short position comes down to whether a trader thinks a currency will appreciate going up or depreciate going down relative to another currency. Simply put, when a trader thinks a currency will appreciate, they will go long the underlying currency, and when the trader expects a currency to depreciate, they will go short the underlying currency. Keep reading to find more about long and short. Okay. What is a position in forex trading? A forex position is the amount of currency which is owned by individual entity or then has exposure to the movements of the currency against other uh oh, I didn't see the Y. I'm slow. Currencies The position can be either short or long. A forex position has three characteristics underlying the direction, long or short, the size. Traders can take positions in different currency pairs. If they expect the currency to appreciate, they will go long. The size of the position take will depend on their account equity and margins requirement. It is a important it is important that traders use the appropriate amount of leverage. What's the appropriate leverage? What is leverage? Leverage refers to using a small amount of one thing to control a large amount of something else. As individuals, we use leverage to some degree in a proportion of our daily lives. For example, when you go buy a house on credit, you're actually leveraging your personal balance sheet. Let's say you wish to buy a $200,000 house, but you don't have that much money, much cash on hand, so you put a 20% down payment of 40,000 on the house and make regular payments to the bank. In this case, you are the small amount of cash to control the larger asset of that. Okay. In the stock market, many margin accounts allow you to up level lever up your purchases by a factor of two. So if you have $50,000 deposited into a margin account, you're allowed to control $100,000 of the assets. How how is effective leverage calculated? To determine the amount of effective leverage, you simply divide the larger asset by the smaller instrument. So the house so in our housing example, we divided the value of the house by the equity in the house, which means the house was by levered 5 times. So the amount you allowed, amount you have, 5 times. In the stock market, people are leveraged is 2 times 100,000. Okay. There is simple formula to determine your account effective leverage. This formula is printed below: total size, position, equity, and effective leverage. Example. Now let's take a hypothetical trader and calculate their effective leverage in their Forex account. Let's assume that a trader with 10,000 10 10,000 equity has 3 positions open. Note below. Short the EUR, ESD, some euros, USD, long the USD, and long AUD. The trader's total position size is 70,000, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm confused. Dang, that nigga fucked his finger up. How do I know how much leverage to use? There is a relationship between leverage and its impacts on a forex trading account. The greater the amount of effective leverage you use, the greater the swings up and down in your account equity. The smaller the amount of leverage you use, the smaller swings up or down in your growth equity. In our trading course, we frequently talk about using less than 10 times the effective leverage because you have access to higher amount of leverage in your account does not necessarily mean you want to use all or any proportion of it. Think of it like an automobile motorcycle. Just because everything could run at speeds of 200 miles per hour does not mean you necessarily need to drive it that fast. You see, the faster you drive it, the more likely you're get into an accident. Therefore, you are in greater risk of bodily injury driving a higher speed. And leverage is similar to that analogy. More leverage puts your trading account at risk. Okay, so example, trader A, they start with the same amount of money. Okay, leverage used 50 times. They use theirs 5 times. Alright, now they lost, so he lost, he uses 50 times, he lost 5,000, he uses 5 times, lost 500. Loss of equity, 50%, 0.5%, percent of equity remaining, 50%, 95%. Okay. By using lower leverage, trader B drastically reduces the dollar drawdown of a 100 PIP loss. For these reasons, that is why my trading, I choose to be even more conservative and oftentimes use less than 10 times leverage. The appropriate amount of leverage for you be based on your risk appetite and aggressive trader. You might utilize effective leverage amounts closer to 10 to one more conservative traders must utilize 3 to 1 or less. Why does the average trader lose money? Well, we studied over 30 million trades to help you become more consistent trader on page 4. Trade successful. Alright, we came here to learn a definition, so I'm gonna go back and see where we're at for that. This is another definition. So we were reading this back. What is a position forex trading? And we ended off right here. The FX features IG client for a full overview of what position traders are taking in the forex market. What does it mean to have a long or short position in forex? Having a long or short position in forex means betting on a currency pair to either go up or down in value, going long or short. This is the most elemental aspect of engaging with the markets. When a trader goes long, he or she will have a positive investment balance in an asset with the hope the assets will appreciate. When short, he or she will have a negative investment balance with the hope the assets will depreciate so it can be bought back with a lower price in the future. Long versus short positions in forex. So long goes up, appreciate, go up, depreciate, down, short, go down. It's basically the same, similar words. Why trade forex? Forex trading basics. Okay, so So on the side screen here. Matter of fact, this is cool. I'll use this. I'll use this for my teaching videos. All right.
But I don't want to make the live streams like too long. So I'm gonna end it off here.
And then we're gonna go into another video with probably the game.